Friends, welcome. Pro-life leader Frank Pavone here, bringing you my daily diary, my accountability to you and everyone. What did I do each day, starting from Tuesday the 30th of April through Friday the 3rd of May of 2024. So these were days in the office. I was early in the studio on Tuesday the 30th. Various tapings to be done, staff briefing in the morning, connecting as I usually do with staff to make sure projects are moving along. 10 a.m. I had here in the studio the taping of two programs together with Janet, our executive director, programs both regarding the elections and the pro-abortion ballot initiatives that we're fighting against here in Florida and in various other states. We work at my desk, checking in with other staff. 11:45 had an important meeting with our social media director, our executive director, and the president of Florida Right to Life, together with various other conversations here internally with the staff, and then some work Janet and I had to do, some practical work here in the office. And then continuing through the afternoon with various meetings with staff and catching up at my desk on projects and topics like the following. Approval of our Travelogue, the special newsletter that goes out about our activities around the country. Work with our staff person who coordinates our booking of invitations and traveling. Communication in regard to an award that the governor of Texas gave to our Rachel's Vineyard Ministries. We were very happy to hear about that. Scheduling various meetings through our administration, approving a journal ad going out, communication with Bishop Strickland about a TV taping for us to do together, a special video link and communications about the heartbeat law that went into effect here in Florida this was Tuesday the 30th, so it was going to go into effect the next morning. Communication about the Faith and Freedom Coalition Conference coming up next month and the special role I have in mobilizing Catholic clergy for that. And finally, meetings with our gift entry department. A lot of preparation, seeing it was the last day of the month for the detailed planning of May. A few loose ends that hadn't gotten tied up yet, working on that as well. And all that work brought me into the evening and the end of the day. Didn't go anywhere in particular. Wednesday, May 1st, greeted the month of May by kissing the ground. You'll see that on my social media videos. Why did I do that? Because as of May 1st, the unborn children in Florida are more protected than they've been in 50 years. It was the day finally, it should have gone into effect a year ago after the governor signed it. But because the pro-abortion people have these things tied up in court, we had to wait. The unborn babies, of course, couldn't wait. Many of them died unnecessarily. But I was rejoicing at this new protection for the unborn and protection for their moms. So I did that with our social media director right after our morning staff briefing. I went out there and kissed the ground. I had a meeting with him at 9:15, then a meeting at 9:30 with our correspondence associate, the young lady that answers questions that come in by mail and email, always under my guidance, of course, and to keep our information flowing consistently across the ministry. Various work at my desk, a 10:30 meeting with our video production and social media team. Various work at my desk, including topics like, again, the Texas Governor's Award that our Rachel's Vineyard Ministry received, travel work, planning trips, accepting invitations, working on the schedule for Sam, who works in our website department and will be visiting the office soon, the agenda of the Pro-Life Leaders meeting called the 115 Forum. Finalizing that, working on with our company that does our prospecting mailings, finalizing packages for that, working with the staff on recruitment of volunteers, working on approvals of emails and approval of our Travelogue, which is, again, sent out to keep you updated on our activities and travels. At noon, I had an interview with a Florida news outlet regarding this new law that went into effect protecting the unborn and their families. That was very good. Then that was at noon, and then about 12:15, got together with one of the local Republican leaders, and we had a good strategic lunch and talked about the amendment, among other things. Great time together. Back to the office, continued working on topics like I just mentioned, connecting with various staff, making sure that projects are moving along and plans. 5 o'clock, had a meeting with our gift entry department. Now in the evening, I did something interesting. I had duty watching dog sitting. As you know, our executive director has our 3 Priest for Life mascot Shih Tzu dogs. She's traveling as of May 1st in Texas. And so usually she has friends or neighbors volunteer to check in on the dogs, but I like to be with them, as I'm sure many of you are dog lovers, so I volunteered to take the task, brought some work with me, did it there at our office there on Merritt Island, and checked in on the dogs, and so that was kind of fun. Thursday, May 2nd, working hard in the morning here in the studio for things that had to be taped. At my desk for things like a communication about the National Day of Prayer, which was that day, Thursday, May 2nd. Helping the new coalition that has formed in Florida for fighting the pro-abortion amendment, helping them with their social media and other aspects of messaging, also communication with our prospecting company. Was privileged to just at 10 a.m. to connect with Dr. Ben Carson, Matt Whitaker, Tony Perkins, Scott Turner. We all led a national prayer call for the National Day of Prayer. I was privileged to be one of the speakers and prayer leaders for that at Dr. Carson's invitation. That lasted from 10 to 10:30. A little bit of work at my desk, and then 11 o'clock got on a 1-hour call with the Abortion Recovery Coalition, of which we are key members. That's the meeting that Janet is attending in person in Texas, and so she was on the Zoom meeting from afar, and the rest of us participated in it as usual. At noon, I had lunch with our social media coordinator. We had a working lunch, and that was good. Did more work at my desk on some of the topics I mentioned to you. And then had 3 o'clock an interview here on a podcast by a gentleman who was not completely against abortion, but we had a very, very deep, engaging, and respectful conversation. He interviewed me for about an hour and 15 minutes and said that it was persuasive to him, the things I was saying. So, and then as soon as that was over, I had to tape our episode for that evening's Praying for America program for RSBN. So I did that. And then I went over to Merritt Island again, brought some work with me, and checked in on our Priest for Life mascot dogs, and that was fun. I also, once I got there to our Merritt Island office, I had to get on the Zoom call with our Do No Harm Coalition here in Florida. I was on there for over an hour, doing some important planning and strategizing in terms of fighting this ridiculous pro-abortion amendment. So had that coalition meeting, went on to do some other work, and finished the day. And then finally, Friday, the 3rd of May, working on various things at my desk and emails on topics such as upcoming invitations and trips that our trip planner is working on, communication with various pro-life leaders, approval of election-related emails going out to our list, as well as approvals of other emails going out. Hopefully you'll receive our emails. You can sign up at endabortion.us. Taping of our RSBN program, Praying for America, and then in the afternoon I had to do a whole series of scripture reflection tapings for the days that I would be traveling, and also just to catch up, get ahead of ourselves for the sake of our staff. Then I went down to Merritt Island again, checked in on the dogs, did some work there, and that was very productive. And then, of course, back home and to bed Friday night. That's what I did, April 30th to May 3rd. Open book. Accountability. Still waiting for my critics. You know, I haven't seen a single daily diary from any of these people who think they're so much better. They sit on their, arrogant high horses. We all have these kinds of people criticizing us. So show me what you're doing. Tell me what you're doing. Still waiting. Still waiting. Meanwhile, you and I will serve the Lord together in this great pro-life movement. Thank you for your support, and we'll talk to you soon.